Tonight we are focusing on our World Missions Department led by my friend Pastor Matthew Ball. We are so blessed to have Pastor Ball and his incredible team leading us at this time. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you, Brother Batson. Always good to be with you, my friend, and great to be here for my favorite night of General Conference, and that's World Missions Night.
Well, I've said this so many times before, being around you, my goodness, maybe 2 minutes, and the passion for world missions just comes out. And we are so blessed in the Assemblies of the Lord Jesus Christ to have a man such as you leading us during this time. Let's talk about just a couple of things right now. Our world, not just America, but our world has been turned upside down during this pandemic. Share with us tonight just maybe a few details of how this has affected our missionaries going around the world.
Sure. COVID-19, as you said, has transformed our world. I think we will never be the same. It's impacted us here in the U.S., as every pastor knows, and likewise it's affected our missionaries around the world. It is a pandemic. It's been literally affecting every continent of the world. So it's caused a lot of issues for our missionaries. They are very resilient, though. God's people are resilient, let alone missionaries. I think there's a special dose of resiliency when it comes to missionaries. But it's disrupted their travel. We had some missionaries who were in the U.S. when this all broke out and have been unable to get to their field. We also had others who were in the field about to come home for deputation or come home for a visit, and they were stuck in the field. So that's really been an issue. In fact, just this week, we got, I believe, our last missionary that was stranded back home to where they're supposed to be. And even still, Brother Azar is in Lebanon. His family is here. They've been separated now for about 4 months. So it's caused a lot of missionaries to be displaced. The ones that are here, we have such great missionaries. The ones that are here are wanting to get into the field. It's just killing them. To be stuck here, and their heart and passion is for their field. It's also disrupted deputation. We had 3 teams, the Covey family, the Marshalls, and the Namies were all scheduled for deputation this spring, and that really threw a wrench in the gears. I want to thank the pastors that were able to have a virtual service helping out these missionaries. I think some have been rescheduled. I believe the Marshalls have been rescheduled for the fall. I'm not sure right now about the Namies and the Coveys, but since they weren't able to get into your churches, I just ask that you would consider that they were on deputation or scheduled to be on deputation in your church. So if you could take on one of these new missionary teams, that would be great. Or still have a virtual service. If they're not in your area, you could still bring them in through some of this new technology we're all having to utilize. Bring them into one of your services, introduce them to your church. We've also had to help some native pastors and native works around the world who were devastated by COVID-19. Most of us here, we weren't going hungry. Most of us here, you know, we were very disrupted in our schedule, inconvenienced, but really no one here in the U.S. by and large were going hungry. But that's not been the case around the world. We have some dear, precious ALJC men and women, pastors, in a lot of our third world countries that literally are without basic necessities. So thank you to those who've been giving to our COVID-19 relief, and it's not too late to do that. We have sent relief funds to every continent of the world, every inhabited continent of the world in the last several months, and still, if you would like to give online, you can give to COVID relief, and we will make sure that that goes where it is needed most, and that's buying basic supplies for some of our pastors and churches.
These missionaries are special people. They're special people. I know at our church in Nashville, we have tried to put forth an effort during our special prayer requests to make sure that we have been praying for specifically for our missionaries. We have a wall in the back of our church that has all of our missionaries' pictures on the wall. And we've tried to push that, you know, remember these people as well. So,
during this COVID-19 pandemic, first of all, the prayer support has just been amazing. Thank you for the prayers. We are getting comments, posts on social media, emails, calls, telephone calls of people who are really taking to heart to pray for our missionaries during this time. And this is very exciting to me. During this COVID pandemic, actually our missions giving has not dropped.
Praise the
and that's
Lord.
just been amazing to me, because we have churches that haven't even been having church services.
Right.
And yet missions during the last 3 or 4 months has not decreased. And we are so grateful to that, for
Yes.
that, and so thankful for our churches that have continued to give through this pandemic. I think now would be a good time, if it's all right
Great
with
time.
you.
Great
I've
time.
got some very exciting things to report. We usually
Absolutely.
do this live and in person, but we're doing it on a digital live stream this time. But I have with me some information people have been dying to hear. So let me just share with you our awards for giving for the last year for world missions. First of all, in category A, which is attendance of 0 to 75, second place award goes to Forsyth Apostolic Church, Pastor Jeremy Causey, $30,930.
Awesome.
This is a fairly new church plant that is giving $30,000+ annually to missions. Just incredible. And that was second place. First place goes to the Apostolic Church of Jesus Christ, Carlsbad, New Mexico, Pastor Simon King, $35,550. Thank you to that great church in Carlsbad. That's in category
Awesome.
A. Moving on to category B, 76 to 150 in attendance. Second place goes to someone that has a great passion for world missions. I'm not sure anybody has served any more or longer or any harder in world missions than this pastor in this church. Shiloh Temple,
Absolutely.
Bloomington, Indiana, Pastor Russell Elkins.
Yes.
Second place in category B, $29,880. Thank you, Pastor Elkins, not only for your giving this year, but for your around 40 years he served in world missions, and we appreciate
That's
his
amazing.
service. First place in category B goes to Eagle Bend Apostolic Church, Clinton, Tennessee. Thank you, Pastor David Triplett and your great congregation. $41,416.
Awesome.
First place category B. This is just incredible
That's
to
awesome.
me. Attendance category C, 151 to 250. Second place in category C goes to someone right in the Indiana district, First Pentecostal Church of Anderson, Pastor Luke St. Clair. Thank you, Pastor St. Clair. $15,117. We appreciate this church's support of world missions. And first place in category C, first place goes to Grace Apostolic Church of Clawson, Michigan. This is Pastor Stephen Traxel, who is also the Secretary of Missions America. I started to say Home Missions. Missions America. Thank you, Stephen Traxel, and your great church. $15,686. Moving on to category D. Category D, this is churches of 250 or more. Second place goes to Faith Apostolic Church of Carmel, Indiana. I am just amazed that our congregation of ordinary folks have given $62,084 to missions in the last year. So
Wonderful.
so appreciative of
Yes,
our great
sir.
church folks. First place, no surprise here, first place goes to the First Apostolic Church of Maryville, Tennessee, Pastor Kenneth Carpenter, $185,500. First place this year in missions giving. Thank you. We are so blessed
That's amazing.
to have a general superintendent.
Yes, sir.
Who puts his money where his mouth is. He
Amen.
talks about missions, but he does more than talk about it, they give.
Yes.
And it's so easy to lead a world missions department when you have a general superintendent who is so passionate about missions. Thank you, Pastor Carpenter. Now,
Yes.
district awards. In districts with 10 or less churches, second place goes to the Michigan District. Superintendent Shannon Scott, District Director Brother Mangold, $34,139 in the Michigan District. Thank you to this growing district up in our part of the country. First place, 10 churches or less. This is amazing. West Texas, New Mexico District, $50,381. That is Superintendent Simon King and District Director Dale Bostic. Thank you to the West Texas, New Mexico District. And now, district awards for 10 churches or more. I know you're on the edge of your seat. I know everyone in Tri-State is on the edge of your seat. And here we are down here in the Tri-State District. And I hate to tell you, but I shouldn't say that. I'm thrilled to tell you that the Tri-State District took second place this year, $308,139.59. Thank you to the Tri-State District. Our ongoing competition with the Indiana District. So that leaves this year again, and may I say, I think this is the third or fourth year in a row that Indiana has beaten out the Tri-State District. I know I better be careful because I'm in the Tri-State. Indiana District first place, $370,000, $370,485.31. Thank you to District Superintendent Danny St. Clair and District World Missions Director Nathan Cannon. Thank you to the Indiana District. Of course, I'm just jesting in good fun. We love the Tri-State District and every district. We could not do what we do as a missions department without the faithful support of every one of our churches and of our district. So I want to say a special thank you.
Wherever you're watching right now, if you're in your car, be careful doing this. But if you're at home or maybe in the sanctuary right now, I want us to give a hand clap to the Lord. God has been so good to us, and we are thankful, so thankful for all of the money that has come in this year and has gone to a great cause. Pastor Ball, you're going to take a few moments right here, and you're going to, one thing that I love about you so much is every time you begin to speak about missions, you give a clear vision for what it is the Lord has laid upon your heart. And let me say this also tonight. Scrolling on the bottom of your screen, there are websites for us to be able to go to give.
I'm going to talk about that.
You're going to talk about that?
Yes,
but we're going to give opportunities here in just a little bit. But Pastor Ball always gives a clear vision for the World Missions Department. He's going to take a few moments right here, and he's going to talk to us about some of that right now.
Well, I do. Thank you, Brother Batson. I do want to share with you a few things that you can do to help us reach our vision of taking this whole gospel to the whole world. I want to start with some very small things, just simple things that you can do. You may not think it's very meaningful, but I assure you just some simple things would be of great help and benefit to us. I want to say that we are spreading information through social media perhaps more than any other medium.
Yes.
It is through our social media platforms that we are getting out information about where our missionaries are, prayer requests, special needs that are arising, testimonies, reports of great things that are happening around the world. Social media has become our #1 method of getting information out to the organization. And that, of course, is only as good as the number of people that are following our social media platforms. So the first thing you can do that would be a great help to us is if you are on Facebook, and I know you are, you would be watching this tonight, but if you would take a moment, if you are not already following our Facebook social media platform, it is simply ALJC World Missions. And this great production team is scrolling some of these across the bottom of your screen right now. Facebook, ALJC World Missions. If you'd like to follow me personally, I also post a lot on there about World Missions. That's just the page, not the profile, but the page, Matthew Ball. If you are on Twitter, if you would please follow us at ALJC World Missions. Same word, ALJC World Missions on Twitter. And again, I post a lot personally about World Missions, and that's just simply Matthew D. Ball, at Matthew D. Ball. If you're on Instagram, if you would please follow us on Instagram, ALJC World Missions. That is just all one word, ALJC World Missions. There's an old account that was set up prior to this administration We can't figure out who started it. We can't log in. It's ALJC_world_missions. We are no longer using that account. We've tried to delete it. So make sure you're following on Instagram the right account. We have volunteers that are posting valuable content every day.
Yes.
I'm talking about prayer requests, immediate prayer requests for our missionaries. Target cities around the world where you can be praying for the various cities where we are targeting, wanting to send a missionary to that location. Praise reports from around the world. Literally, we are putting fresh content on our social media platforms every day.
Yes.
So it will help if, number one, if you will simply follow our social media platforms, and secondly, if you would please like those posts, and even better yet, share those posts. That helps us get the word out. Also, if you are not receiving emails from the World Missions Department on a regular basis, if you are not receiving newsletters in the mail via U.S. Post Office, if you're not receiving in the mail materials about missions commitment service, the reason why is we do not have current information on you and your church. So if you are not regularly being contacted by us, it probably means we have an old address, old email for you. So if you would just contact me via any one of our social media platforms or email or just a comment on this live stream tonight, we will make sure we get in contact with you and update our database. The second thing, I'm talking about some simple things that make a huge impact in our ability to fulfill our mission. Secondly is just consistent, faithful monthly support. I'm so excited tonight. In just a little while, I'm going to be sharing with you a great need we have. We're going to raise an incredible offering tonight that is literally going to impact the world. But you know, when we come to General Conference or National Youth Convention, it's amazing to me how sometimes we can raise $100,000. We've raised in excess of $140,000, I believe, one conference. Going back a few years, back to when we raised the funds for Russia, it was over $250,000 at one conference. That is amazing.
Amazing.
But I've had missionaries tell me that in the months following June or November, that they notice a decrease in their monthly support. And I think what's happening is a church at conferences inspired by the vision, they're like, we're going to give, and they give a great sacrificial offering, but then the monthly support to our missionaries suffers in the coming months. Please don't stop giving to special projects like what we're going to talk about tonight. But giving to special projects should never be at the expense of the monthly support for our missionaries, because these missionaries are on the field, boots on the ground. They are where the rubber meets the road, and they are depending to feed their family, to operate their ministry. They are depending on yours and mine, our monthly faithful financial support. So please do that. Please be timely with that. It's important that we're able to get those funds to our missionaries each month on a timely basis. And we have done something that has made that process very seamless. It is our new online giving platform. If you are not giving online through our online platform, you're really missing out on a very easy way to get your funds to the missionaries expeditiously and without a whole lot of trouble on your part. A whole lot easier than filling out the old Helping Hands form, putting a stamp on, writing a check, sending it in, taking 2, 3, 4 weeks to be processed. It's a whole lot easier to give online. I encourage you to do that. You can give on our website, worldmissions.aljc.org. I want to tell you a little bit about something we launched last year at General Conference. It's called $1 a Day.
Yes.
And for what it costs to buy a small order of McDonald's French fries, a person can literally change the world.
Wow.
$1 a day can feed a Bible school student in many of our overseas fields. Wow. $1 a day can provide Bible training material for students. $1 a day pooled together will enable us to buy Bible school property, buildings, remodeling, paying for the food, upkeep. we can operate our Bible schools simply by the funds that are coming in through people who are giving very simply $1 a day.
Yes.
$1 a day. 3,000 people giving $1 a day is over $1 million a
Wow.
year. 3,000 people. That's all it takes. If 3,000 people can give $1 a day, that is over $1 million annually. That we can dedicate those funds strictly to our Bible school agenda.
Yes.
In the last year since General Conference, we have used $1 a day funds to buy Bible school property, to buy building materials to finish our Bible schools, to bring our Bible schools to near completion. I'm going to be talking about that a little bit later. We have used those funds to buy materials. We've used those funds to support the operational expense of Bible schools in numerous fields around the world, simply by people giving $1 a day. It is so easy. And before we close out here in a few minutes, they're going to show you a video, not right now, but they're going to show you a video in a few minutes, $1 a day that presents the whole program. But we've made it so easy for a person to go in and with a couple of clicks, they can enroll in our $1 a day program, and those funds go directly to supporting our Bible school agenda. How much?
It has to be easy because I've done it. And now I had filled something out at General Conference and I had failed to follow through, like you had said, and I felt convicted of that. But after about 5 emails from you personally, and then a text saying, hey, are you going to join this? And it's as easy, and you get a statement. It sends it right to your email. $1 a day. That's amazing.
We've made it so easy. It just a few clicks. You can set it up either in your checking account or through your credit card, and we've set it up to where it takes out $30 a month, which is roughly $1 a day.
Right.
Just been amazing. Am I running out of time? I could talk all night long about missions.
We
Do I have time?
We got a few minutes here.
All right. Let me tell you about the single greatest way to increase missions giving in the local church on a consistent basis is through our missions commitment service. We launched this about 3 years ago. It is an annual service. It's the first Sunday of March of every year. And the idea of the missions commitment service came from this thought. And I can only speak personally from our church. But I have a feeling that our church is not too unlike most churches in our organization, the way they operate with missions. Our church budget, we had decided as a church, our church pastoral staff had decided, we're going to give X number of dollars a month to missions. Going on what Brother Carpenter shared with us several years ago about increasing that annually, we took hold of the vision he cast for that, and we actually have made a commitment that every year we're going to increase that by a certain percentage. And looking back now after 5 or 6 years of that, I'm just astounded at how we've been able to continue to increase that. It's just been amazing. But we had been giving for so long, kind of out of our church budget, just regardless of what came in from the church folks, we were just sending that monthly check from the church. And the Lord spoke to me one day in prayer and impressed on me this thought that, what about the church people? You're not giving them an opportunity to be blessed. Your church is being blessed. Our church was being blessed because our church was giving. But it dawned on me that I wasn't really giving an opportunity for the people sitting in our chairs in our congregation to personally contribute to missions. And that really was the catalyst to start the missions commitment service. And it is a service that we as a department provide all the materials you need, videos to show, promo materials that are sent out weeks ahead of time. Thousands. We printed tens of thousands of cards that we mail out to every church, cards for each missionary that the pastor on missions commitment service lays those cards out, preaches a message about souls and giving, and at the end encourages church people to come pick up a card sponsoring a specific missionary for 1 year. And the churches that are involved in our missions commitment service, they are seeing incredible increases in monthly giving. It's just absolutely amazing. In fact, I'm going to make a bold statement here. The only churches that have not seen a dramatic increase in giving through the missions commitment service are the churches that are not participating in the missions commitment service.
Wow.
Because if you will grab hold of the model, it will work. We've had smaller churches say our missions giving has doubled, tripled. Churches that are saying 50%, 75% increase. And the beauty is it's not coming out of the church budget. It's not that the church itself is giving more.
Right.
They're just passing along to the World Missions Department what is coming in from the pews or from the chairs. It's just amazing. So I'm telling you this, when you get that information, the start of 2021, don't just throw it in the trash. Don't put it on a shelf somewhere. Get the box we're going to send to you out. Take a look at this program. If you will simply follow the step-by-step guidelines of the Missions Commitment Service, it will make a difference in your church.
That's awesome. The old saying, out of sight, out of mind. If you don't bring it up, you're not going to, if you put a seed in the ground, you're not going to have a harvest. So that is so vitally important for us to do. We're going to play the video now.
Okay.
The $1 a day video.
Okay.
It is so well done.
I appreciate that.
It is so awesome. Thank you, Brother Ball, for being with us tonight. It has been awesome to just sit here for just, again, I hope all of you can feel the passion from this man.
I'm sorry if I've dominated this conversation.
No, it's been amazing. I hope you can feel the passion that we feel in this room. It's coming through the camera. Thank you again from the bottom of our heart for involving the assemblies of the Lord Jesus Christ in world missions. It's awesome. God bless you as you watch this video.
Jesus said, "Go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature." Our commission is clear, but the number of people who do not know the saving name of Jesus is staggering. If you lined up the lost people in the world side by side, that line of lost people would reach around the earth over 71 times. If you walked that line of people 24 hours a day and spoke just a few words about Jesus as you passed by, in your entire lifetime, you would never reach the end. The only way to fulfill our commission is to somehow move from addition to multiplication. By establishing Bible schools around the world, we get more people walking that line. Imagine training thousands of pastors, soul winners, and church planters in our mission fields in Africa, Europe, Asia, Latin America, or the Middle East. By sending those leaders to walk the line of lost people in their harvest fields, we are truly able to impact nations. We have a bold vision to establish Bible schools in every mission field around the world. And for $1 a day, you can be part of that vision. For $1 a day, you can change the world.